Welcome everyone, I'm Dale and this is Cinema Historia. A wayward son, a favored brother, and an uncovered family secret. This week we're going back to 1955 for a period drama film called East of Eden, starring Julie Harris, James Dean, Raymond Massey, and Joe Van Fleet. And this is directed by Elia Kazan. So where does our story begin this week? Well, our story begins in 1917 during World War I in Salinas Valley, between the peaceful agricultural town of Salinas and the rough and tumble fishing port of Monterey, two coastal towns in central California. There live Cal, played by James Dean, and brother Aaron, the adult sons of farmer and wartime draft board chairman Adam Trask, played by Raymond Massey. Aaron is dutiful and responsible, while Cal is moody, embittered, and thinks he is sinful because he believes his father loves only Aaron. Adam told the boys their mother, Kate, played by Joe Van Fleet, died when they were infants. However, Cal heard rumor that she is living in nearby Monterey. Wanting to know the truth, Cal stows away on a freight train headed for Monterey and discovers Kate operates a brothel in the nearby town, which he keeps a secret from Adam, Aaron, and Aaron's girlfriend, Abra, played by Julie Harris. Meanwhile, Adam buys a building to begin his idealistic plans for a long-haul vegetable shipping enterprise. However, things go terribly wrong when with a shipment of lettuce ending disastrously and losing him his entire savings. To recoup his father's loss and also earn his love, Cal decides to enter the bean growing business, knowing that if the United States enters the war, bean prices will skyrocket. Needing $5,000 capital, Cal hops a train back to Monterey to ask Kate for the money. Kate, revealing she never loved Adam and hated living on a farm, but feeling guilty leaving her two sons, loans Cal the money. Kate notes the irony that the loan proceeds from her business are intended to preserve Adam's good name. Meanwhile, Aaron and Abra seem to be growing farther apart, with Abra growing attracted to Cal, and Cal seemingly reciprocating her feelings. So does Cal recoup his father's losses and his father's love? Is the brothel kept secret while love blossoms in the Salinas Valley? Or does a stroke leaving someone paralyzed change the direction of our story? Based on the 1952 novel East of Eden by American writer John Steinbeck. John Steinbeck, called a giant of American letters, won the 1962 Nobel Prize in Literature. East of Eden, along with James Dean's other films, Rebel Without a Cause in 1955 and Giant in 1956, was named one of the 400 best American films of all time by the American Film Institute. With a 90% rating from the film critic Rotten Tomatoes, this film received 10 nominations and 13 wins. Yes, 13, including a 1956 Oscar win for Best Actress in a Supporting Role for Joe Van Fleet. And if you like a film with heavy drama, I think this one is for you. And our trivia question this week: was something unique rented to create a romantic scene in our film? Was something unique rented to create a romantic scene in our film? So a little more history and the answer to our trivia question coming up next. Now, since the story of our film is set in 1917, for History This Week, we're going to talk about an electric car company from that era. But first, a brief history on the early days of transportation. So, interest in motor vehicles increased greatly in the late 1890s and early 1900s. Electric vehicles had a number of advantages over their gasoline-powered competitors. They did not have the vibration, smell, and noise, and did not require changing gears. The cars were also preferred because they did not require a manual effort to start, as did gasoline cars, which featured a hand crank to start the engine. Most early electric vehicles found popularity with upper-class customers who used them as city cars. In the United States, by the turn of the century, 40% of automobiles were powered by steam, 38% by electricity, and only 22% by petrol. Sales of electric cars peaked by the early 1910s, so instead of Cal going to Monterey by train, he could have ridden in a Woods electric car. Yes, the Woods Motor Vehicle Company was an American manufacturer of electric automobiles in Chicago, Illinois, between 1899 and 1916. In 1915, they produced dual power, both electric and internal combustion engine cars, which continued until 1918. Yes, there were hybrids back then as well. The company was founded by Clinton Edgar Woods on September 29, 1899, who literally wrote the first book on electric vehicles. With their slogan, "Exit the old-time horse," the company offered a wide range of passenger cars, commercial trucks, and taxis. Woods cars were demonstrated in Toronto to great fanfare in 1898, and Woods was the first electric driven in Ottawa in 1899. Backed by Canadian investment, Woods reorganized under the Fisher Equipment Group in late 1899 as well. And I found an 1898 Woods electric brake model, as in BREAK, at the Canadian Automotive Museum in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. This Woods electric has twin Fisher electrics, 2x2 horsepower, weighs approximately 1,400 pounds, has a top speed of 19 kilometers an hour, and had a Canadian price tag of $2,000. Based on its age, it is likely the oldest original electric car in Canada and one of the oldest surviving commercial electric cars in existence. Wow, that's a big deal. And the demise of the electric car was inevitable. By 1912, the gasoline car cost only $650. That same year, Charles Kettering introduced the electric starter. And by the 1920s, the U.S. had a better system of roads for people to explore. With the discovery of Texas crude oil, gas became cheap, and filling stations began popping up across the country. In the end, electric vehicles all but disappeared by 1935. Until now, of course. And the answer to our trivia question this week: was something unique rented to create a romantic scene in our film? Yes, if you guessed this one, it was a Ferris wheel. Instead of using rear projection for the scene on the Ferris wheel, director Elia Kazan rented a real one from a carnival and set it up on the Warner Brothers back lot. He also borrowed an additional crane to hoist lights, sound equipment, and crew members up to capture the intimate romantic scene. Pretty neat. I'd like to give out a big thank you to all my new subscribers this week. Thanks for jumping on board and supporting my channel. And for everyone else, thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope to see you back next week.